Right. So, um, this is basically my startup. Well, I mean, to be honest, I don't exactly see this going that far. But well, not to paint it with um, doubts. Um, when I show you, I feel like, why was he so excited about something so simple? If you don't know ship fast, it's something that you should get. It made this like 100 times easier to code. I could just do basic things. So I'll just show you some of the things that I did in putting things up like pretty quickly, writing copy, setting things up, and blah blah blah. So this is the landing page. Let me walk you through it. So essentially, the idea came from um, I went on a trip to Spain for more like a pastors conference kind of thing with my senior pastor and one of my church moms, and it was a wonderful trip. And there were times that we had to pay for stuff, and of course, it was easier for just one person to pay instead of every person having to pay like split bills and stuff like that. And then later we just decided that we just calculate like what everybody had to pay each other or something like that. And then so I kept thinking about it like, oh, what could be a very easy way to figure that out, because there's complexities of maybe, oh, when we say you have actually maybe five more people, but that wasn't the case. But there were complexities of, or maybe if somebody bought something just for themselves or just for two people instead of three people and things like that. So this was an app or solution to it. I mean, actually, the whole idea kind of came to me over the series of time that we're there, and more specifically while we were just praying and worshiping together one day. Um, yeah, so that's like the full extent of it. There's some other fun stories there that I just don't want to get into right now. But essentially, so if you see, it's basically called splitpool. Basically, it's a way to. So the idea is split travel cost and not friendship. For us, we're Christians and we love each other too much to allow money to split us up. But I've seen money be something that it's a very tricky issue. Can split people up like very quickly, very easily. So this is kind of a system to do that. So split travel costs and not friendships. Share expenses without assholes, keep friendship intact, keep the complex math, and ensure everyone gets paid their fair share. No more awkward talks, just easy splits. As simple as that. Now, most of us can trust our friends, but money can be a tricky subject. Sometimes they're just mistakes, sometimes there are misunderstandings, sometimes there are miscommunications, and this can lead to all this crazy stuff. Um, these are just basic features. Basically, calculates it. The calculation is not that complex. It's just adding the total and dividing by the number of people and stuff like that. Of course, it cannot become more complex for an actual human being to do. When the data is a lot more to compute, there are more people. When you add in variables like one person bought for themselves alone, not for everybody. One person bought for two people or three people, not for everybody, and things like that. Then automated payments, which is just basically a way to the people that, so basically a deficit is calculated, and I'll show that very quickly soon. um, a deficit is calculated basically saying that this is the amount of money that everybody has spent, this is the amount of money you're supposed to spend. Basically add everything that everybody spends, divide it by the number of people, in our case three. Okay, so you've spent this, you've spent this, you've spent this, or you have not spent as much as the average that you're supposed to spend. That means you also you pay into the central pool. You have spent more than the average that you're supposed to spend, and in that case you are paid out from the central pool. And then you get notified based on that. Very simple. Came up with this model, $10, just so that you can keep using it forever without having to pay anything anymore. And then a $1 per transaction, where the $1 is just split between the number of people within it. It's not really anything, to be honest. So very simple, very. So thought about a few things: how secure our transactions. Basically, we're using Stripe. Disputes, blah, blah, financial information is safe. Who manages the money? Stripe basically manages the money. One of the things that I've been um, concerned about is how to assure people more and more that their money is safe and that I won't just vote with their money and stuff like that. Um, so I'm kind of looking for maybe escrow services or a way to lock them down in Stripe and stuff like that. So this is just a CTA, and then I have my closing page. Yeah, so that's basically it. So many of the copy that's on this page was most of it was what I brainstormed with ChatGPT. I have like, yeah, an ongoing chat that is like, all the ideas, the user stories of the app that I will develop and stuff like that. So a lot of crazy stuff that I have put together here, but ship fast, made this a whole lot easier to do, like get started very quickly. And the app itself, I made a post of it on Twitter. So right now the app itself is just this basic thing, you know. Let's just say, um, yeah. So let's just be somebody spent 1,000. Let's see, another person spent um, 10,000, which is crazy. And then you press calculate deficit, and it basically just tells you that this person that spent 1,000 needs to pay into the central pool 4,500, and then the person that spent 10,000 will be paid 4,500 from the central pool. And this goes on for, if you had 3 people, 4 people, blah 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 blah. There's really nothing to it. It's very basic. One thing that did help me though was the Daisy UI GPT. Like, it made things very easy to just set up a lot of this stuff. So you just go to Daisy UI, you just go to the GPT store, and you can find Daisy UI, and you can give you like a simple front end very quickly, very fast, very clean, very beautiful. Yeah, so that's how I basically put this up. So that's the full extent of the app right now, but I plan to basically incorporate a way to collect payments, which mostly will be Stripe, but I want to kind of escrow it so that people are sure that their funds are safe, and then a way to where you can fill in your own details. But if you don't know the full details of what a friend has spent, you can send them a link, and then they can fill in their own details. And once everybody fills in their own details, you're notified, and you can initiate like the payout sequence, and then tell people to start paying in, that are supposed to pay in. And for people that will be paid out, so basically the people that will pay in will be sent an email. You have to pay in so amount, and then they pay that in. Once they are paid in, you as the main user knows that they've paid that in. And then for the people that will receive money because they've overspent, they will be notified by email that in 3 to 7 days, which is what I have with Stripe, that they will be paid out and stuff like that. So this is basically the app now. It was really a cool experience to like go from idea to finishing. I mean, it was really cool, an experience. Yep. So thank you very much for listening to me. So one other thing that I've been thinking about, I mean, I've had a ton of ideas over the past few months, like a ton of ideas, and it's really nice to actually put something to code and actually get it out. That's really awesome. But one thing I've been thinking about was, and my mentor kind of spoke about it again today, building custom GPTs. And I have thought of building AI knowledge bases before. I can't remember why I didn't, but particularly the problem that I'm looking to solve right now is training custom GPTs for companies, for individuals, whatever the case may be. But instead of now it being on OpenAI, they would be spun up automatically with like a DevOps kind of thing on maybe like AWS or something like that. Basically, you just have like a DevOps script that spins up a particular GPT model, and then it is then custom trained on the data that is supplied to it. That's kind of what I'm thinking about right now. I've been thinking of how to solve that problem because people get prickly, and that's exactly what I want to name the project, prickly.ai. People sometimes get prickly, like they get antsy about what's a simple word to describe that, like, oh, my data privacy and stuff like that. To be honest, I think I'm just naive about it because I still don't fully understand it and why people care about it so much. So I'm still trying to understand that as much as I can. But it's something that I've seen that a lot of people are concerned about. Everybody that I've spoken to, whether they be individuals, are concerned about their data safety and their intellectual property. Whether I've spoken to lawyers, and they were like, oh, we do a lot of work, and of course we can't give our work to AI and blah 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 and stuff like that. But what if it's a custom trained GPT? Would they be safer with that? I've thought of doing something like that for the police, in helping them gather incident reports and stuff like that online in a more conversational way, especially for non-traumatic events, maybe like simpler stuff, which actually came to me. Which actually came to me based on something that I was doing and stuff like that. We won't talk about that too much, So so these are some of the ideas that I have. So I think what I need is a similar environment like I had in Madrid when I traveled, cause like it was a much different environment from what I have back home, and it was conducive to just getting ideas out. So I think I might start maybe, and it's one of the reasons why I might need a faster PC, or I mean not faster PC, but like a PC that has um, more um, more battery power, like at least 5 hours, so I could maybe just go to the park or something, which I prefer, instead of going to a cafe, and just go for like 5 hours and yeah, just bank stuff out. So that's what I'm looking into right now. So I'll keep working on this. I need a plan to work on it though. I need to maybe go to the park, like I said, and work on it, because like I'm trying to work on it in the nights, but I have school stuff, I have some other stuff that I'm doing. Yeah, and then to start exploring prickly.ai and see if I can put something to work. But I think firstly I should try and find out if people are interested. So I might just go back to some of those people that I've spoken with and see if they would be interested in a custom GPT that they have full control over. They can delete it at any time. The data is not saved anywhere else other than on the GPT and that kind of stuff here. All right. Thank you very much for watching.